KNDY.
Frankfort Linn High School football action. Service of Midwest Products, Bruna Implement, United Bank and Trust, First National Bank in Frankfort, M&R Auto Parts, Moe's Stop and Shop, Titan West, Oldie Family Farms, Wanklin Oil, Parthimer Electric, Lynn Post and Pipe, Blue Valley Insurance Agencies, Jane Elaine Boutique, Blue Valley Technologies, Oldie Tractor Repair, Coolman Implement and Hardware, Souther Feeds, and Frankfort Area News. And a thank you to our regional sports boosters. They include United Bank and Trust, Bruna Implement, Kramer Oil, Honeyman Auto, Sing Gordon and Associates, Hometown Lumber and Hardware, Sunflower Community Credit Union, Candyquip, and Channel C.
Good evening and welcome to High School Football, everybody. It is Friday night. My name is Max Blasko. I'll join by here Mike Side in just a little bit by my co-host Jeff Works this evening. We are in Linn, Kansas as the Linn Bulldogs take on the Frankfort Wildcats. We're about 14 minutes from kickoff here on a beautiful Friday evening here in north central Kansas. Linn, comes into this game with a record of 1-3, same as Frankfort. Something has to give in this game. We'll see as the night progresses. Jeff, what's one key to this game for both teams?
Well, when we discussed this in pregame, it's going to be middle of the field. It's going to be between the 30s tonight, and that's going to be the biggest thing. Point of attack, who can get that push up front, that's going to be the biggest key in this game, trying to get something right up there.
Two teams going at it that are fairly young but fairly physical at the same time. We're going to step away for just a little bit. We'll be back here with your starters in just a little while. You're listening to KNDY.
From the ground up, Midwest Products Hanover can assist with concrete drives, parking, walks, entries, foundations, and support walls. Quality people help produce quality products, and you can rely on their crews for a job done right. Concrete plants at Hanover, Washington, and Clay Center. Midwest Products also haul rock, sand, and gravel. They have a crane for rent and can assist with site preparation. Start your next job with a call for a quote today from Midwest Products at Hanover.
Just like our area athletes work each day in practice to perform at their best in the big game, the staff at Bruna Implement Company, your local Case IH dealer, work daily to provide the best parts and service experience when you need it most. Bruna Implement Company has been family-owned for 3 generations. We know what it takes to be successful as your area Case IH dealer. For the best in farming equipment with the service to back it, there is only one. Bruna Implement Company, since 1947.
Friendly, personalized service to meet your banking needs. That's the standard at First National Bank, Frankfort.
My community bank has responded to the changes needed to keep my money safe and secure. They've switched to cards with the latest technology, which is safer and more secure than before. My community bank provides safety and security while staying on top of the latest banking trends.
Let First National Bank's brand of banking be responsive to your needs. First National Bank, Frankfort, proud to be your community bank. Member FDIC.
To keep your vehicle running good and looking good, all you need is M&R Auto Parts in Frankfort. Motor oil, air filters, spark plugs, batteries, brakes, and more. M&R also has what you need for the outside of the vehicle. Wheel cleaners, glass cleaners, washes, and waxes. That's M&R Auto Parts, your CarQuest Auto Parts dealer in Frankfort.
Welcome back to the program. I am now joined by head coach of the Frankfort Wildcats, Coach Nick Anderson. Coach, you started off district play with an impressive 54-6 win against Doniphan West. Offensively, very balanced, over 350 rushing yards with Brock Armstrong having over 250 of those. How do you like to see that balance in your team offensively and know that that's how they can become deadly later on in the season?
Well, in years past, that's typically how we have been, and that's how we tried to be. And for whatever reason, we struggled to do that early on in the year. So that was definitely an emphasis at practice. And I thought the kids had a very nice week, and we were able to run the ball better than we have all year. And then that opens up some things in the passing game as well. So they all tie in hand to hand. And like I said, very pleased with how that worked out Friday.
Having a younger team this year, getting a win like this, a statement win in the first district game, how big is that for their confidence, not only heading into the rest of the season, but just building on their high school career even for next year?
Yeah, it's important. Getting that first one in the books is a big deal. And, we had a tough 3-game stretch there, and I'm really proud of how we came out and practiced and competed. We had lots of energy all week, probably more than we'd had at any point in time. And I think that led directly into, how we performed Friday. So very proud of how the kids, stuck together and finally got one in the win column.
Both sides of the ball seemed to play very well defensively, a couple sacks and quite a few tackles for loss. What did you like to see from that play of your defensive line and your linebackers especially?
I thought we played with relatively good speed. Maybe we didn't pursue as well as I'd like, but the big thing is we were more physical than we have been all year, and we had some guys, getting some pads popping and making some statement-type hits, and our gang tackling was a little better. We, still not getting 8 hats to the ball, but we had 4, 5, 6 hats to the ball a majority of the night. So I'm pleased with that progress, but understand that it still needs to improve.
And how important is that defensive side of the ball, especially going to be for your team's success heading into the second half of the season?
It's crucial because, like you said, we're young in some spots, and scoring might be a challenge from time to time. So we're going to have to be able to find ways to turn teams over and keep them out of the end zone. And we're still looking to do that. Probably could have had 2 interceptions this past week, but my kids are pretty intelligent on 4th down, and it was better just to bat the ball down rather than intercept it. So turnovers will definitely be an emphasis moving forward.
Heading into the rest of the season, you get a game against Linn coming up, another district game, and also going to be, again, our KNDY featured game of the week this week. Going into this game, how do you keep that momentum going, continuing on into the season?
Hopefully we can take the things that we did last week in practice and carry those forward into this week. I'm looking forward, especially with the nice weather and not being so hot that, kids are flying around and having a good time at practice and eager to learn and get better. And if we could do that, then, I'm looking forward to another good week.
You mentioned the weather at the end there. It's amazing how some cooler temperatures and some football-type weather can make team decide to, like you said, want to pop those pads and get enthusiastic about it. So, Coach, I appreciate your time again today. Best of luck with Linn coming up in our game of the week, and we'll just talk to you again next week.
All right, thank you.
Don't have time to stop by a bank to open an account? No problem. With United Bank and Trust, we make it easy by bringing our bank to you. Whether you're at home, at work, or anywhere you have access to a computer, simply go to ubankonline.com and click on the Open an Account icon. Save time by opening an account online with United Bank and Trust. It's banking for your way of life. Member FDIC.
Titan West Incorporated manufactures corral fencing, gates, and chutes. A square deal better. Titan West now manufactures circular working corral, cattle, hog, horse, and bison equipment. Phone 1-800-252-0847 for dealer information. Circular working corral, cattle, hog, horse, and bison equipment. Manufactured here in Linn, Kansas by Titan West Incorporated. Phone toll free 1-800-252-0847.
You don't ask that much from your propane provider. Just the basics. Competitive pricing, quick delivery, reliable service. And if there's an emergency, the assurance that you won't be left out in the cold. You get all of that from Wanklin Oil. If you're not getting what you want from your current propane dealer, call Wanklin Oil at 1-800-794-2019. Jared, Dennis, or Zach will make the transition easy. It's not a hassle. Wanklin Oil is covering more of Northeast Kansas and can get to you right away. Wanklin Oil, 1-800-794-2019. We've had the energy since 1926.
Oldie Family Farms continues a tradition of providing safe and wholesome milk for dairy products. From their family to yours, they strive to steward natural resources and provide for the health and vitality of the cattle they raise and the practices they employ. It all began with 3 Holsteins in 1955, and generations later, the same commitment to quality continues. Learn more, including current job openings and employment opportunities, on their website at oldiefamilyfarms.com.
Welcome into the program. I am now joined by head coach of the Linn Bulldogs, Trevor Kuhlman. Coach, you took on an Axel team that is projected to win state. The scoreboard showed 56-0, but what's one thing that you took away as a coach that the scoreboard might not necessarily show?
One thing I was pleased with, we really struggled against Washington, especially late in the game, moving the ball. We had spurts where we did move the ball a little bit. We just got to be able to finish drives and capitalize. And some of that, honestly, Axel's they're a really good football team. They're well coached, and, they get downhill in a hurry. I thought that's probably one takeaway we had. Our kids played hard, and, we did drive the ball at times.
How does this game against a high-level opponent kind of help you guys for the rest of the year and maybe going forward after that, just to show the level of competition that's, in the state?
I think moving forward, we've got 4 games where we feel where we're even matched in a lot of ways. You look across the board, there's a lot of similarities between everybody we're going to play from here on out. These last 2 weeks we've played 2 very good football teams that have been very physical. And so hopefully moving forward we can take what we've learned in these 2 games and apply it.
And a perfect lead into my next question. We will be over there on Friday night as the Linn Bulldogs take on the Frankfort Wildcats and KNDY's featured game of the week. What do you see as a key in that game? Because like you said, you're fairly matched and you're both sitting at a 1-3 record going into this game.
I think one key for us is we've got to be able to slow down their passing attack. They've got they're young, but they've got a lot of really talented athletes, and they do a good job spreading the ball around and making you guard everybody. So that's probably one thing going into this game we have to do a good job of, is being sound on our passing schemes.
And you talked about it a little earlier, too, flip over to the other side of the ball. Offensively, what are you guys going to need to do to kind of get the game going? In your win this year, you were able to get the rush going. Is that going to be a key going into this game?
That's one thing we'd like to do. We've got to get somebody else to step up. We lost a kid against Washington. That's kind of, that was our big rusher in a lot of ways. So we got to get a couple more kids to step up and try to fill that production. And I think we've got the kids to do it. We just got to get the confidence to do it.
Forget to ask at the beginning, you mentioned an injury there. Who's that to, and are there any others going on?
Right now we've got 3 kids that are pretty banged up. So we're sitting at 13 total, and it makes us young in a hurry. When you've only got 4 seniors and you're taking 2 to 3 of them off the field, you get young in a hurry. We just got to deal with it and deal with that adversity.
I don't know if we were ones that talked about it early on in the season, but football at the end of the day, when it comes to injuries, there's a lot of luck, and sometimes the ball just doesn't go that way.
Oh, absolutely. It's it's something you can't control as a coach, so you just gotta roll with the punches.
And getting some of those younger players on too is not necessarily the worst thing, getting them experience in this game either. So.
Oh, definitely.
Well, Coach, I appreciate your time. Like I said, I can't wait to come over Friday and call the game against the Frankfort Wildcats. Best of luck if I don't talk to you before then, and we'll talk again next week.
All right. Thank you, Max. Appreciate it.
Moe's Stop and Shop in Linn is your stop. Fuel up and fill up at Moe's Stop and Shop. They have gas available, plus they have drinks, snacks, and a whole lot more. Your convenience store is Moe's Stop and Shop. Find them right off the highway in Linn. Moe's Stop and Shop.
Call Parthimer Electric at 268-0553. At Parthimer Electric, we specialize in residential and commercial electrical services and are dedicated to providing customer service that is second to none. Parthimer Electric won't leave the job until you're satisfied. Parthimer Electric is available at all hours and offers flexible services for indoor or outdoor jobs. You can visit us on the web at the Parthimer Electric Facebook site or give us a call at 268-0553. Parthimer Electric in Frankfort.
Load, sort, and work your cattle easier, faster, and safer with equipment from Linn Post and Pipe. Wrangler portable corral, stationary working equipment, guaranteed gates, and continuous fencing, all available to make livestock handling safer and more efficient. Linn Post and Pipe is in the business to help ranchers do what they do best. So naturally, they provide only the most durable and best quality livestock handling equipment. Linn Post and Pipe Supply, built to last for generations.
No 2 farms are alike, and at Blue Valley Insurance, we understand that. That's why you'll get farm insurance coverage tailored just for you. We look at your individual situation and help you figure out the coverages that make the most sense for your farm, all at an affordable price. No matter what you grow or how big or small your farm, we can help. Your roots are in farming. Ours are in protecting you. Blue Valley Insurance in Linn, Greenleaf, Hanover, and Marysville.
Friday Night Football live on KNDY FM, Marysville FM 95.5, on air, online, and on our mobile app. Opposite our broadcast, Marysville at Rock Creek, live on AM 1570 FM 94.1.
And we are just in time for kickoff as Linn is getting ready to kick off to the Frankfort Wildcats here. It is Friday Night Football on KNDY. Listen live, online, all the time. It's going to be Linn kicking off to Frankfort here to the left-hand side. The ball is going to be squirted out. It's going to be in the hands of Armstrong for Frankfort, and that's where Frankfort's going to start the game at their own 5-yard line. So we'll get into starting lineups here as the game goes on. Of course, I'm joined by my co-host, Jeff Wirtz, today. Got a wonderful game going on tonight between the Linn Bulldogs and the Frankfort Wildcats. Talking a little bit before, Jeff, Linn's dealing with some injuries coming into this game.
And, that's going to put them a little bit shorthanded, but this was a team that last year barely could fill a team, so they're used to building on small numbers and growing. And they've got to deal with that now. Injuries happen.
Injuries happen in the game of football. That is true. Coach Kuhlman has to work with it how he is. The first play for Frankfort goes to the left side. It's going to be Armstrong off the left for a gain of about 5 yards. Run through starting lineups here real quick in the backfield. Quarterback Wes Anderson for the Frankfort Wildcats, accompanied by running back Brock Armstrong and Lane Loisau. Trent Harden will also be on the end, along with Ty Smith and Carter Olson flipping sides on the outside. On the line, it is Wyatt Keller, Jake Steffies, and Xander Hall rounding out the starting 8 for the Frankfort Wildcats. Mentioned about it all year this year. Frankfort, a young team, starting a freshman quarterback in Wes Anderson, but last week was able to get the ground game going with Brock Armstrong going over 270 yards in that game against Donington West. So looking for some balance tonight. Frankfort's going to take a shot right out of the gate. It's left side. It's all the way to the house. Number 24, Trent Harden. Opening possession touchdown for the Wildcats.
And that's a great start, obviously, for this Frankfort team. They came right over the top and had no problem getting into the end zone there. A great start for Nick Anderson's Curse.
I couldn't even get set down in my seat before they decided to start the scoring here in Linn. Frankfort's going to take the early 6-0 lead on a long, we're going to call it about a 40-yard pass there from Anderson to Loisau, or Harden, on that touchdown. So it's going to be Linn on the west side of the field here as we set facing south. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful night for football. A little windy here at the beginning of the game, but as the sun is going down, it is dying down. It's going to be over the right side. It's going to be Ty Smith, and he's going to be stopped short. 2-point conversion is no good. So we've got an early 6-0 score here as the Linn Bulldogs face off against the Frankfort Wildcats live on KNDY.
Jane Elaine Boutique in Frankfort has all the newest styles with none of the new prices. If you haven't stopped by lately, you're already missing out on everything new coming in. Check them out online at JaneElaineBoutique.com to see their full selection of cute tops, jewelry, shoes, stuff for the kiddos, and always new arrivals. So stop by Jane Elaine Boutique today for your next trendy outfit, because having fun while looking good is a way of life. And be sure to check them out online at JaneElaineBoutique.com.
Your opportunity, your solution, your success. That's Souther's Feeds approach, and that's what sets us apart. I'm Leanne Litton, and I invite you to experience the Souther difference. We're about visiting the ranch, walking your pens, and weighing the options to develop a ration combination that will be the most efficient and profitable for your business. Souther's, a family-owned company that identifies opportunities and applies solutions for your success. Souther Feeds in Frankfort and online at SoutherFeeds.com. Souther Feeds, where your success is our success.
Welcome back to Friday Night Lights. The Frankfort Wildcats have taken an early 6-0 lead over the Linn Bulldogs before everyone even got into their seats. We've still got 11 minutes to play left here in the first quarter. Scoring recap, 40-yard touchdown pass from Wes Anderson to Trent Harden on the left side, starting it off 6-0. It's going to be Frankfort kicking off, moving left to right here as we face looking south, kicking off the Linn. Get a chance to look at the Linn starters here real quick just before the kickoff. Kickoff is a short one. It's taken about midfield, and that's where Lynn's going to start, about their own 30-yard line. So we're going to roll into the starting lineups for here real quick. They are led by junior Gavin Turk at quarterback, Anthony Alala, Behind him, at the wing, Connor Oldie, Will Olson, Jose Lara, along with Zach Hilgen, Matt Kern, and Dylan Oldie are the starting 8 for Linn. Of course, we mentioned it in pregame. Linn dealing with a bunch of injuries. 4 seniors on this team. 2 of them are out for tonight's game. But as spoken earlier, nothing that Linn is too unfamiliar with rostering a short roster last year. It's going to be Gavin Turk in the backfield looking to pass. Can't find anyone. Going to go up the middle for a scramble of a couple inches there, starting off for Linn.
And some good defense on the backside there by Frankfort. Kind of shut that down before it even started. The flanks were shut down very quickly.
One thing for that Frankfort side of the ball, if you get that early lead, you don't want to turn it right back to Linn with an early play. So a big test here for the Frankfort Wildcats. First defensive possession for them. First chance to see this Linn offense go to work. Of course, was shut out last week by Axel. Very good team in Axel that talked to Coach Kuhlman, and he liked the progress this team showed during that game. It's going to be ball carry over to the right side. A power, believe it'll be quarterback Gavin Turk along again with that carry. Linn looking to get the run game started here early on in this game. The first 2 plays, running plays.
And that might be best for Linn. Keep the ball on the ground, keep the ball in their possession, and kind of wear this Frankfort defense down.
With a younger team and lighter numbers, ball control might be the key of the night here for the Linn Bulldogs. We're going to go in an I formation. It's going to be Turk under center, a fake to the halfback. We're going to swing it to the fullback right under center. That's number 45, Dylan Oldie, a freshman, up for a couple yards. He's pretty close to the first down. We're going to mark it a first down. Move the chains for the Bulldogs. Thing I want to point out here is a younger backfield for the Linn Bulldogs. Of course, Turk is a junior, but both running backs, look at a lot of freshman running backs and fullbacks for this team. Going to be interesting to see how they deal with the physicality of the Frankfort front 3 in this game. It's going to be Linn with Turk power up the middle again, left side. He's going to go up for about 7 or 8, I'm going to call it, for a second down.
And, a game like this, and I say this a lot, a game in the TVL makes a freshman, a sophomore, or a junior very quickly. Whether it is on their class notes or not, it makes them a veteran very, very quickly.
Especially in this league, you grow up real fast. There's not a lot of coddling that goes on, right to the fire as we go. It's going to be Linn in an I formation again. It's going to be Turk under center. Of course, ball will go to fullback Oldie up the middle. Oldie's going to be close again to the first down mark. We'll see if they give it to him here. So far, good drive for Linn. They've chewed up some time. It's still 6-0 Frankfort, 8:30 left to go here in the first quarter. But Linn has gotten 2 first downs now, controlled the clock a little bit, and like we hit it at a little bit earlier, right up the middle is where Lynn's going.
And you can tell that Coach Trevor Kuhlman is working the clock a little bit, taking the plays in a little bit slower. Work that clock. Just kind of get into your own groove.
Especially in the first quarter with a team such as Linn, it's important just to get in a groove, whether it be from ball control or easy plays for the team. It's going to be power with quarterback right side. He's going to split it out towards the sideline. He's going to pick up about 7 yards there. Good running so far early on in this game from quarterback Gavin Turk.
I'm impressed with Turk. This is the first time I've seen him this year, and he is a very smart runner. Mm-hmm. He knows not to just run straight up the middle. Don't just run right out of alignment. He finds a hole, and I'm impressed so far with him.
He's got very good vision and runs low to the ground. Going to be a tough tackle, a big kid there. There's some big thighs on that man. Be tough to tackle down. It's going to be Linn in the eye again. A little fumbled snap. Somehow gets it to the fullback, Oldie, and he's going to be stopped right at the line. Looked like just a miscommunication there on the handoff from quarterback to running back.
That might have been best case scenario for Linn to get even the ball back there. That was a pretty bad miscommunication.
Kind of a strange play. Ball never touched the actual ground, but it just seemed to kind of hold in the belly of Turk for a little bit on that exchange. So we've got our first big third down of the night. Linn coming up, a third down and about 2, I'm going to call it, on the Frankfort side of the ball. Setting at about the 25-yard line of Frankfort. Linn looking to answer the early touchdown from Wes Anderson to Trent Harden for Frankfort. It's going to be power again by Oldie up the middle. He's going to get a couple feet, but he's going to be, I believe, held short. So here we go, Jeff. First big fourth down of the night.
And what did I say just a little bit ago? Don't run straight at the lineman. Don't run straight at the lineman. And that's what they've done in the last two plays. And they've got to find something to the outside here, it seems like would be the logical thing to do.
Try and use some of that speed to get to the outside of these edge defenders. Frankfurt's front three so far has been playing fairly decent in this game. He said Linn has moved it up. It's still early in this game, a filling out process. Linn's going to go trips here to the left side. Gavin Turk alone in the backfield. See what Linn has here. Turk's going to come up middle, but we're going to get a timeout Linn before that play. We're going to take it as well. Frankfort leading Linn 6-0. We'll be right back on KNDY.
Earning and keeping your business is the top priority at Oldie Tractor Repair in Linn. Their professionally trained technicians have a tremendous amount of experience with all types of farm equipment. They service all brands of tractors, combines, and forage equipment, especially John Deere. They work on diesel truck engines, clutches, transmissions, differentials, and brakes. Call Oldie Tractor Repair of Linn, Kansas, serving area farmers for over 26 years.
Stay connected, stay informed. Get the Frankfort community's top stories every week. Frankfort Area News is a small-town community newspaper dedicated to their advertisers, subscribers, and community. The Frankfort Area News was established in 1991 and is the official paper of the City of Frankfort, City of Vermilion, and USD 380. They love receiving news from their readers. If you have an engagement, wedding, birth, family reunion, or something you think local readers would enjoy, or to subscribe, get in touch with the Frankfort Area News at 292-4726.
Back here at Linn as the Bulldogs are in a fourth and very short on the Frankfort side of the field. Frankfort 25. Linn's going to split out 3 here left. It's going to be Turk in the backfield. Now comes up under center. Got a false start on the Wildcats, or it looks like it's going to be on the Bulldogs there. I thought Turk was able to draw that defensive end for Frankfort all sides, but a little movement up there by the front line of the Linn Bulldogs.
There was just a little twitch, I think, up front, and it was enough to definitely get the penalty flag there.
So we move from a 3 and very short to a 4th and 6 now, a little bit tougher for the Linn Bulldogs, but we've seen them pick up 7 or 8 yards pretty consistently throughout this game, so we'll see what they have here called. Linn, of course, taking their time with this drive, looking to answer back that early Frankfort touchdown. Frankfort leading 6-0 now here in the first quarter, and we're going to have our second time out already by Linn. We're going to take it as well. We'll be right back on KNDY.
Coolman Implement and Hardware is your Agco Alice, White, Hesting, Leaner, and Gel dealer with personalized care since 1935. See Coolman Implement and Hardware for farm equipment, electrical and plumbing supplies, parts, sales, and service. Your Agco Alice, White, Hesting, Leaner, and Gel dealer is Coolman Implement and Hardware in Linn, Kansas.
Raise your hand if you need more internet speed. It's time to get your hands on much faster internet. Don't settle for yesterday's internet speed when you have a home full of today's devices. Upgrade your Blue Valley Technologies internet speed now to the speed you need and get a $50 bill credit. If you're new to Blue Valley, you get 2 months free and everyone gets free installation on managed Wi-Fi. Visit bluevalley.net/raise your hand today.
Fourth down here for the Bulldogs as they are able to pick it up against Frankfort. Good play call there by Coach Coolman. Rolled Gavin Turk out to the right-hand side there out of the shotgun. Able to throw across his body towards the middle, get the first down. Don't want to call it a big fourth down pickup there, Jeff, but that was a big play for this offense.
Early on in this game, getting a statement play like that, just to keep the continuity of this offense running, that was pretty big for Linn.
from a coaching standpoint, able to chew up all this clock here in the first quarter after that early strike is important for Linn. It's going to be Turk in the backfield again. Left side to him is going to be Oldie. It's going to be Oldie around the right side, down by the sideline. He's going to be close to the goal line. The flags are coming in as Oldie was able to pick up about 4 yards there. And we've got a holding on Linn. So 2 early mental mistakes there by the Linn Bulldogs, going to march them right back outside of the red zone.
And you're seeing the youth there for the Bulldogs kind of come in with these early penalties and missteps. You're not seeing that so far with Nick Anderson's club.
And to be honest, I haven't had a chance to see it from Nick Anderson's club. 2 plays, able to score on that yard pass, but that's a big miscue there by the Bulldogs. It moves them to a 1st and 15 from the 15 as they were at 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. So it's going to be Turk in the shotgun again with Oldie to his left side here. 2 receivers split here left. It's going to be Turk running left here. Tries to stiff arm. Can't get away from the defender. Good defense there by the Wildcats as that was Trent Harden coming up and making the big defensive stop for the Wildcats.
Frankfort now able to kind of get some penetration in the backfield. They're starting to get into a little bit of a rep here.
A good start there by the sophomore from Frankfort as he was able to get the early big touchdown for the Wildcats and turns around and gets another big tackle for loss here on 1st down. So it's going to be Linn with a long 2nd and 25 from their own 25. It's going to be Turk in the backfield, 2 receivers, both sides of him, split left and right. It's going to be Turk, look to pass. He's going to throw it left, tip and incomplete. Boy, that was a dangerous pass there by Gavin Turk. But one of those passes you almost feel as a player you need to be able to make in a position that you're at. Of course, not many coaches have a call for 3rd and 25 in this situation.
It doesn't really come up very often to have deep in your playbook.
Can't really practice this too terribly much. If you can, you don't really want to. So we've got a 3rd and 25 for the Bulldogs as they are in Frankfort Wildcat territory, looking to answer back a early score from the Wildcats. Frankfort leading 6-0, just under 5 minutes left here to go in the first quarter. It's going to be 3 receivers in the triangle to the right of Turk. Turk in the shotgun for the Bulldogs. Turk dropping back now, rolling out to the right, got a running lane, looking back to pass, now throws it towards the back of the end zone, incomplete. Had a receiver, but just couldn't quite drop it into the breadbasket there as Gavin Turk let that gunslinging arm fly.
And once again, that Frankfort defense was able to get into the backfield. Right now, they're beating Linn at the point of attack up front. That's going to be a big thing to look at the rest of this night. Can the Linn offensive line provide any sort of hold for their quarterback? And
especially there, of course, Frankfort only rushing 3, able to get 1 through for the Frankfort defense is a big key. So now here we go, 4th and 25 for the Bulldogs. Triangle split of receivers to the left of Turk. Turk in the backfield. It's going to be Turk taking the shotgun snap. 3 rush there by the Wildcats. Pressure off the left side. Turk's going to step up, trying to find someone. Throws the ball to the right side. Has the receiver, and just off the fingertips of Connor Oldie. Oh, so terribly close on that 4th down play to try and get the first for the Bulldogs.
And it was a valiant effort. It was probably the right play call. Just could not get the execution done.
Both those passes early tonight so far for Turk have been just off the fingertips of his receivers. Be interesting to see how this first quarter would be a little bit different if that ball came down just another inch. So Frankfort takes over possession here. That was 4th down. Frankfort's second possession here, leading 6-0, 4:55 left here in the first quarter. Frankfort working left to right here. It's going to be Anderson in the backfield. A pitch out here to, I believe it's Armstrong, that was Loisau. Able to pick up a good chunk of about 15 yards there as I was looking at my program trying to find a name. A 1st down for the Wildcats.
Linn Loisau is just an incredible athlete. He can help you out in the passing game, in the rushing game. Very multifaceted and an excellent player for Frankfort.
That's one thing I noticed. I was able to call a Frankfort game early in the season, and it was the Washington game which Washington was able to come away with. But seeing the versatility in this Wildcat backfield is what really stands out to me in this game. So it's me, Anderson in the backfield, shotgun snap, same pitch, same play to Loisal just on the other side. Loisal able to break a tackle and get about 5 yards on that run. So back-to-back plays, same play, just opposite sides of the field.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Not broke, don't fix it. Don't need the WD-40 for that one. That's going to move up a 2nd and 5 for the Frankfort Wildcats as they have now moved it on into Linn territory, setting at about the 30-yard line of the Bulldogs. Frankfort driving here, 3:40 left to go in the first quarter, already with a 6-0 lead. It's going to be Anderson in the backfield with Loisal to his left. Anderson back to pass, slings the bullet over here, right side, pass caught and complete by number 33, Carter Olson. Boy, that was a bullet he shot over here to the near side.
The way he got that ball out as quickly as he did, that was the key to succeeding in that play.
If he throws that about a half second later, a second later, the corner for Linn able to come up and maybe make it stop early before the ball gets there. But at the end of the play, it's another first down for the Frankfort Wildcats, sending at the 20-yard line of the Linn Bulldogs. It's going to be Anderson in the backfield. Motion here. Quick pitch to Brock Armstrong around the left side. Armstrong has the corner, took close to the first down. About 10 yards on that pitch. So Frankfort early on in this game doing a good job of getting it outside, inside, both runs, getting it to their playmakers in some space. That's what you need to do. That's the key to 8-man football right there.
And that's where Nick Anderson's mind is just sometimes unfair in this 8-man game. Brock Anderson is good between the tackles. You send him out on a jet sweep like that, that's just not fair. Nick Anderson is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers.
When you have a boy that can move like Brock Anderson, and here he goes again in motion, we're going to fake it to him. It's going to be right up the middle, and it's going to be a walk-in touchdown for Lane Loisal again. Frankfort opening it up here. It is now 12-0 as the Frankfort Wildcats waltz on in on a 10-yard touchdown run by Lane Loisal. Linn needing to get a stop here on defense on the 2-point conversion. They haven't looked too terribly bad up front, to be honest. It's just Frankfort is able to get to the outside and use their athletes in space. In this game, I think that's going to be a key regardless of who you is. 2-point conversion is going to be Armstrong rolling out left. Now pressure by the Bulldogs. Now Armstrong's out of it. Back again, a little flip forward, and it's going to be incomplete, no good. Good pressure there by the Bulldogs to force the incompletion. So, with 2:30 left, Frankfort Wildcats lead the Linn Bulldogs 12-0. We'll be right back on KNDY.
From the ground up, Midwest Products Hanover can assist with concrete drives, parking, walks, entries, foundations, and support walls. Quality people help produce quality products, and you can rely on their crews for a job done right. Concrete plants at Hanover, Washington, and Clay Center. Midwest Products also haul rock, sand, and gravel. They have a crane for rent and can assist with site preparation. Start your next job with a call for a quote today from Midwest Products at Hanover.
Just like our area athletes work each day in practice to perform at their best in the big game, the staff at Bruna Implement Company, your local Case IH dealer, work daily to provide the best parts and service experience when you need it most. Bruna Implement Company has been family-owned for 3 generations. We know what it takes to be successful as your area Case IH dealer. For the best in farming equipment with the service to back it, there is only one. Bruna Implement Company, since 1947.
Here as the Linn Bulldogs are facing off against the Frankfort Wildcats. Frankfort just able to open up this lead, leading 12-0 here. 2 minutes left here to go in the first quarter. Score update at Brock Creek. Marysville is tied 7-7 as that game is just getting started, just like ours. So it's going to be Frankfort kicking off to Linn here, left to right. A deep kick there. This time going to be returnable for Turk. Turk's going to take it up the right side. Now got to crease up the middle. Now back to the right side, swinging back and forth. Turk with the sneak to the right, and he's going to be called down right about the 30-yard line for the Bulldogs is where they will start this drive.
26-yard gain.
26-yard return there for Gavin Turk and the Bulldogs as they look to get something going here early on in this first quarter. Able to move the ball. That first possession started here about in this position that first time. Able to get it down all the way to the 5, but penalties were the Achilles heel in that first drive. Let's see if Linn can clean it up here a little bit. It's going to be Turk in the backfield with Oldie to the left of him. It's going to be Turk running a power here to the left side. Turk's got the outside. Turk's got the edge. Turk up to the 40, up to the 35, and a good run there by Gavin Turk as he was able to use his blockers, come all the way from the opposing 30 all the way up to the Frankfort 35-yard line.
And a nice block there by Anthony Ayala, on that lead. He was able to get out in front of him and make a little bit of a pass there. So credit to those guys that maybe don't get the name called just as much, but a very nice play there by Anthony.
It was great team blocking, especially in running plays. That's what you need. You need team blocking to make it succeed. It's going to be Linn right in front of us at the 35 of Frankfort in the I formation. It's going to be a pitch right side to Raucho, and he's going to go nowhere on that pitch. Not able to get turned downfield as Linn tried to run a little pitch to the far side. Number 1, Ezekiel Raucho, senior, one of the seniors on this team, not able to find that edge. We've talked about it all night, too. This is a young Linn team. This is a depleted Linn team with some injuries and other concerns. But so far here in this first quarter, good fight from the Bulldogs as they only trail Frankfort 12-0. Just under 2 minutes left to go here in the first quarter, but Linn is moving the ball. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Snap high, goes off the hands of Turk. Turk able to handle it, though, sneak up the middle and catch up about 3 yards. It was a good job there by quarterback Gavin Turk just to control that snap.
And those are the little things that you can control, that bad snaps, the things like that, the little handoff that they missed earlier, just little things like that are the things that Linn needs to kind of sew together.
And I've talked to Coach Kuhlman over these last couple of weeks, and he's really talked about this year being a learning experience for a lot of these guys. You know, a younger team a couple years ago, Linn not even able to field the team, so to see a full Linn Bulldog squad out on the field, it's a pretty nice sight indeed. It's going to be Turk in the shotgun there, then to swing it out here to Dylan Oldie. Dylan Oldie with the crease on the left side. Big man's got some moves, and he's going to pick up about 15 yards and pick up a first down. Didn't recognize. I need to start telling them different. 2 Oldies on the roster, both play running back, number 45, Dylan Oldie, and number 5, Connor Oldie. So that was Dylan on that run, and a good play design there. Kind of swing your fullback out, kind of a little halfback screen for the Bulldogs, and able to get your big boy in some space and let him rumble. So Linn able to move here. They're going with the trips left or right side again, a little triangle. It's going to be Turk looking that side again. Same play and same person over to Dylan Oldie for about 5 or 4 on that possession. So here we are again, Jeff. Linn has moved it down the field. We've got about, I'm going to say, a 2nd and 8 coming up here inside the 20-yard line. Let's see what they can do here with this field possession. Clock is winding down, under 30 seconds left here to go in the first quarter. Let's see if Coach Kuhlman decides to run a play. He's been very, what's the word I'm looking for, precise in his play calling so far tonight, taking time, making sure everyone is in the right possession. 13 seconds left in the first quarter. It's going to be Turk with the snap at the shotgun. Turk right up the middle. Turk with a hole safety to beat, and he does. It's going to be a touchdown. Linn Bulldogs right before we go to quarter break. Gavin Turk with a 20-yard touchdown run right up the middle as the Linn Bulldogs cut the score in half. It is 12-6 now. Linn Bulldogs trailing the Frankfort Wildcats. Good play design there by Coach Kuhlman. Kind of ran a little quarterback draw power right up the middle. Turk had 1 safety to beat, gave him a little shimmy to the right, stiff arm to the left, and away we went to the house. We are about to get the 2-point conversion underway, see if Linn can cut into this Frankfort lead, anymore right now. It's going to be Turk in the backfield, rolling out right. All the receivers going to the left. We're going to flip it back over, and no good. So Turk not able to get that one, but Linn has cut into the lead. It's 12-6. Frankfort leading Linn. We'll be right back on KNDY.
Friendly, personalized service to meet your banking needs. That's the standard at First National Bank, Frankfort.
My community bank has responded to the changes needed to keep my money safe and secure. They've switched to cards with the latest technology, which is safer and more secure than before. My community bank provides safety and security while staying on top of the latest banking trends.
Let First National Bank's brand of banking be responsive to your needs. First National Bank, Frankfort, proud to be your community bank. Member FDIC.
To keep your vehicle running good and looking good, all you need is M&R Auto Parts in Frankfort. Motor oil, air filters, spark plugs, batteries, brakes, and more. M&R also has what you need for the outside of the vehicle. Wheel cleaners, glass cleaners, washes, and waxes. That's M&R Auto Parts, your CarQuest Auto Parts dealer in Frankfort.
Back here as the Linn Bulldogs take on the Frankfort Wildcats. Linn able to cut into the lead right before quarter break here with a 20-yard Gavin Turk touchdown run right up the middle as Linn was finally able to break through and get a score here. Score is 12-6. Frankfort Wildcats leading the Linn Bulldogs. Linn about ready to kick it off here, going right to left. That last drive, Jeff, Linn did a good job of controlling the ball and feeding the ball right up the middle. I assume that's probably going to be a key for them heading into the second quarter.
And I think getting that touchdown right before this quarter break might be a big momentum boost for Linn, too. Give them a little bit of something to look forward to in that second quarter.
You wouldn't think the timing of it, but if you come out and you score after the quarter, a little bit different momentum than if you go into the quarter with that score. So we are going to have a kickoff here. It's going to be a pooch kick right up the middle, and we're going to have I believe it's a false start on the Bulldogs. So already 3 penalties on the Bulldogs here for a total of 25 yards early on in this game, and maybe that youth showing off just a little bit with a younger team and an experienced team for the Bulldogs.
And again, just another unacceptable play, something you can't do and something that this team will learn not to do in the future. Right now it's just a learning process for the Bulldogs.
And especially with a dangerous return team in Frankfort, those 5 yards are ever so more important to not give them up. So we have got 3.6 seconds left here in the first quarter as the Linn Bulldogs are trailing the Frankfort Wildcats 12-6. It's going to be Linn kicking off here right to left as we see it. It's going to be a pooch kick up the middle again. Ball hits the hand, Samuels hits the ground, but Frankfort's going to keep control of it as we go into quarter. So that'll bring us to the quarter break. The Frankfort Wildcats leading the Linn Bulldogs here on KNDY.
With United Bank and Trust online banking, you have access to your hometown bank 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year at ubankonline.com. You can view account balances, access statements, and transfer money between your UBT accounts. You can also view account activity, pay bills, and even make loan payments without being limited by banking hours. Simply visit ubankonline.com to learn more. Online banking with United Bank and Trust. It's banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Titan West Incorporated manufactures corral fencing, gates, and chutes. A square deal better. Titan West now manufactures circular working corral, cattle, hog, horse, and bison equipment. Phone 1-800-252-0847 for dealer information. Circular working corral, cattle, hog, horse, and bison equipment. Manufactured here in Linn, Kansas by Titan West Incorporated. Phone toll-free 1-800-252-0847.
You've reached Billy Bob's Propane. Nobody can take your call now, but somebody will get back to you sometime.
Yeah, this is Frank Jones, and I'm switching propane companies. Why? Wanklin Oil has more to offer, and to be honest, better prices. They also gave me options that fit my budget, and in case you don't remember, I called last week because I was nearly out of propane. You never called me back. I'm now out of propane.
Switching propane dealers is no big deal. Call Wanklin Oil at 1-800-794-2019. Wanklin Oil, we've had the energy since 1926.
Back here as the Linn Bulldogs take on the Frankfort Wildcats. Frankfort Wildcats leading 12-6, just start of the second quarter here in Linn. It's going to be Anderson back to pass. It's going to be a little screen here coming near side to Harden. Harden's going to go it up the middle now, break it out left side. Harden's got some speed, flips the field there as a good tackle was made by the Linn Bulldogs, not able to get him out of bounds before Harden was able to get up to we're going to call it the 25-yard line for the Bulldogs.
And credit again, Jake Steffes, the junior from Frankfort. He was able to make a nice block and spring that just a little bit more. Those extra little yards, that's all that's going to be the difference in tonight's game.
And as you're a coach, if you're going through film, it's those little extra blocks that you keep talking about, Jeff, that earns players more playing time and more trust with the coaches. So Frankfort already in the move as Linn was able to answer them back just a little bit ago. It's going to be a handoff, go sweep side. Brock Armstrong faked it. It's going to be Wes Anderson here left side as he takes it down the sideline all the way up to about the 15-yard line.
The best fakes are the ones that even get the radio guys all messed up. And I think we were both out of it on that play.
I don't feel too bad now when you see a TV guy go with the wrong guy or watch a foul ball or go somewhere because it's just as easy for me to miss it here.
That was an excellent play.
You know what I want to bring up, though, Jeff? Frankfort just in 2 plays completely flipped the field on the Bulldogs. They went from the Bulldog 30 now all the way down, the Frankfort 30 all the way down to the Bulldog 10. Amazing how fast this offense works. It's going to be Anderson in the backfield, dropping back, looking right, has a target around the edge, down towards the 5, not quite to the touchdown, but a catch and pass from quarterback Wes Anderson to Trent Harden. As Frankfort itches even closer.
You know, we both saw that game against Washington County. The process of this offense, the advancement so far in the last couple of weeks is just mind-blowing.
I didn't want to bring it up on a pass earlier that Anderson threw, but his maturity, even, from 2 weeks ago, I bring it up with coaches a lot. I don't get the luxury of watching film or being able to see every game, but when you can catch a team twice in 1 year, it is very fun to see the growth from that team. So it's going to be the Wildcats knocking on the door here of the Bulldogs. It's going to be a power up the middle. Wes Anderson keeps it on the outside. Anderson gets close to the edge. We're going to call it a touchdown for the Frankfort Wildcats, but there's also a flag on the play. Let's sort this out here real quick. Another good fake pitch and run there by Wes Anderson as he went around the right side. We're going to march it back. It's going to be on the Wildcats. So that moves the Wildcats all the way back from the 5-yard line of the Bulldogs all the way back to the 15-yard line. Some well-needed real estate for this Bulldog defense. I believe that was a chop block called there on the edge as Anderson was trying to get towards the end zone. Moves this offense for the Wildcats back, but so far been able to move it up and down the field here in this first half. 10 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Linn is trailing the Frankfort Wildcats 12-6. It's going to be 2 receivers left side here for the Wildcats. Anderson in the pistol with Brock Armstrong behind him, and we're going to have another false start. Jeff, I don't know what it is about that 15-yard line, but that is where every single one of the penalties has happened tonight.
There has to be a divot out there or something that those linemen just can't stand quite properly right. When you're that big, a little movement. There isn't such thing as a little movement.
A little movement. Field might be tinted forward just a little bit, get their movement going. So after a false start, Frankfort's going to move back 5. We're almost back to the 20. We're going to call it the 18, we're actually going to call it the 23-yard line. Switch the other side. It's going to be Armstrong swinging back, short little crossing pattern, caught and complete to Loy Sal, who catches it and goes out of bounds about the 10-yard line. We're going to call it the 12-yard line for Frankfort. A good job, though, by the Bulldog defense. I've seen there's been a lot of hats to the ball so far tonight. Not a lot of, men left on islands, as they like to say, needing to get individual tackles. This team is really getting to the ball and tackling the ball carrier with abandon.
Pursuit is a big thing in the 8-man game. If you can get every man to the football, it is a big key.
I'm sure you've seen more 8-man games, but one broken tackle can lead to a game-changing play. So it's going to be Anderson in the backfield again, swinging it far side, close to the goal line. It's going to be just short, though, on the pass, I believe, to the number 33. It's going to be Carter Olson for the Wildcats, able to pick it up. So here we are again, Frankfort knocking on the door right at the 1-yard line. This Linn defense is needing to stick up and stiffen.
and Olsen was just kind of left out there by himself. He just ran a post pattern, and he was out by himself, but they were able to get in front of him just before he got into the end zone.
And as a defensive coordinator, that's tough. We've already talked about the running ability of Armstrong and Anderson in the backfield, and a good pass to Harden. There are some weapons on this team. It's going to be Anderson again in the backfield for the Wildcats, looking to punch it in. It's going to be a sweep left side to Armstrong. He's going to be down close and in. A 1-yard touchdown there by Brock Armstrong as the Frankfort Wildcats are able to extend this lead 18-6. Just at 9 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. So a good job there by Frankfort as they were able to start on their own 30-yard line, move the ball all the way down the field, and come away with a touchdown as the sophomore Brock Armstrong was able to break into the end zone on the 1-yard touchdown run.
You know, that's just basic offense for Frankfort. Give that ball to Anderson and let him roll a little bit.
Really a simple play, too, and almost the same exact play on the two-point conversion here. He's going to be up and close and good on the two-point conversion. So the first two-point conversion good on the night for Brock Armstrong. That's going to move the score 20-6. You're listening to KNDY.
Oldie Family Farms continues a tradition of providing safe and wholesome milk for dairy products. From their family to yours, they strive to steward natural resources and provide for the health and vitality of the cattle they raise and the practices they employ. It all began with 3 Holsteins in 1955, and generations later the same commitment to quality continues. Learn more, including current job openings and employment opportunities, on their website at oldifamilyfarms.com.
Call Parthimer Electric at 268-0553. At Parthimer Electric, we specialize in residential and commercial electrical services and are dedicated to providing customer service that is second to none. Parthimer Electric won't leave the job until you're satisfied. Parthimer Electric is available at all hours and offers flexible services for indoor or outdoor jobs. You can visit us on the web at the Parthimer Electric Facebook site or give us a call at 268-0553. Parthimer Electric in Frankfort.
Back here as the Linn Bulldogs face off against the Frankfort Wildcats. Frankfort leading 20-6, 9:09 left here to go in the second quarter. Of course, want to give a shout-out. Thank you to all our sponsors for tonight's game in Linn and Frankfort. Without you guys, this broadcast would not be possible. So early on in this game, Jeff, Frankfort's been able to move the ball up and down the field pretty well. Linn, a little tougher job on the offensive side. What's something that needs to loosen up for the Bulldogs here in the second quarter?
Well, I think loosen up is the perfect term right there. They just need to loosen up. They got a little bit tight, a little bit worried when that first touchdown came in, and I think they've just playing from behind isn't the forte for this Bulldog team. And right now they just need to get a score on the board and try to make this thing a tight game again.
You brought up that first score. Yeah, an early 60-yard pass from Anderson to Harden opened up the game for the Wildcats. Linn able to answer, but Frankfort just getting those points back. The short kick is there as Gavin Turk's going to run up and down the ball about the 20-yard line for the Bulldogs, and that's where they will get started. Looking to answer back at this Frankfort Wildcats team that has been able to score on every one of its possessions so far tonight. Also been the story of the 9 Linn Bulldogs with 5 penalties for 25 yards already here early on in this game. Some mental mistakes coming and just some inexperience showing off just a little bit for the Bulldogs. So it's going to be Linn driving here left to right. It's going to be a fullback power up the middle with Dylan Oldie there with the run, for a couple of yards. And we're going to start this drive just how every other drive has started for the Bulldogs, right up the middle with the fullback.
And that's the thing that's going to be probably the key, probably the biggest thing for Linn tonight. Just ball control. Keep this in their mind a little bit. Just get going again.
Talked about it there with the break. A lot of this is mental. It's tough when you come out and give up an early touchdown to not want to strike back. But there are no 14-point plays. Play-by-play is how this game's going to have to be. It's going to be Turk rolling out left, looking to throw, has a target, but off the hand of Dylan Oldie. That's about the second pass that went right through the fingertips of the freshman there.
And that's something that has to get fixed in this second quarter and into the second half. If Linn is going to even stay in this ball game, they've got to make those passes. They've got to make those plays.
I'm going to chalk that up as about the third pass that should have been completed so far tonight. We talked about it a little bit, and when they were down in the red zone, how one drop can be so detrimental to a drive, and especially when you're that close to the end zone. And flip it to the other side. Trying to get a drive started like Linn is, a drop like that kind of drops the momentum. It's going to be Turk in the backfield alone with the shotgun. Turk's going to run a little draw up the middle. Ball squirts out. Ball is on the ground. Frankfort says they have it, and it looks like they do. Huge turnover there by the Bulldogs as they were looking to get it. It looks like Gavin Turk just kind of got spun around, and one of those plays, someone came in and just knocked the ball away.
I believe that was Brock Armstrong that was able to at least reach in and kind of make contact with the ball and let it squirt free. So a big play right there for Frankfort. Now they're driving once again.
And to give Frankfort field position at the 20, of the Bulldogs, something you don't want to start with. But so here it is. It's going to be a first pass by Anderson, as he's going to swing it over here to Armstrong near side down to about the 5-yard line. So Frankfort already moved it about 10 yards here. We're going to be real close to a first down as the ball's going to be just at the, 10-yard line, first down marker at the 9. Frankfort looking to strike here early and often in this game. 3 possessions. This is their fourth, 3 touchdowns so far by the Wildcats. Just given great field position by the Bulldogs as Gavin Turk coughed it up on a little quarterback draw. Frankfort looking to extend the lead as it's going to be Anderson in the backfield, tailed by Loisal and Armstrong. Anderson's going to look, has a man in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. Ty Smith with the 10-yard touchdown reception from Wes Anderson.
At the top of that route, Smith just hit him with a quick stutter step and was able to bypass the defender pretty easily there and get into the clear for that score.
Ran a great route there, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier. When you do have some backs such as Armstrong, such as Anderson at quarterback, and Loisal being able to run the ball, some of those other guys don't get all the attention. Here's the game for them to stick out at. So it's going to be Frankfort opening up the scoring here, 28-6, looking to get the 2-point conversion. It's going to be Anderson in the backfield, motion out the running back. Anderson looking to pass, now looking to run. Steps up right up the middle, has a hole, met at the goal line. It's going to be close, but he got it. Anderson puts it in for 2. As the Frankfort Wildcats has opened it up here, 30-6. We'll be right back here on KNDY.
Moe's Stop and Shop in Linn is your stop. Fuel up and fill up at Moe's Stop and Shop. They have gas available, plus they have drinks, snacks, and a whole lot more. Your convenience store is Moe's Stop and Shop. Find them right off the highway in Linn, Moe's Stop and Shop.
As a business owner, you work hard to make a profit. Earning a living and supporting your family is always on your mind. At Blue Valley Insurance, we can help you lower your business expenses by finding the right insurance coverage at the best rate to protect your investments. Our agents have many years of experience handling all types of insurance policies, including commercial insurance. We have offices in Linn, Greenleaf, Hanover, and Marysville. Put us to work for you. Blue Valley Insurance.
Back here on KNDY, listen live, listen now, all the time. KNDY online, if you're not able to listen to us, of course, 95.5 listening in now. The Marysville Bulldogs down at Rock Creek battling down there on our sister station, 94.1. Tune in and give them a listen. Here we have the Linn Bulldogs facing off against the Frankfort Wildcats. Frankfort able to open it up here in the second quarter, 32-6. Just under 8 minutes left here to go in the second quarter. Frankfort able to get wonderful field possession on their last possession as Linn had a case of the fumbles. Quarterback Gavin Turk turned it over at the 20-yard line, and 4 plays later, Ty Smith from Wes Anderson for the 10-yard touchdown. 2-point conversion rounded up by Anderson himself. So Linn looking to get their ball, or get the offensive side of the ball moving here. All going to be placed at the 20-yard line of Frankfort.
And so far, you have to give your credit to Frankfort capitalizing on those mistakes from Linn and doing well and scoring on most of those plays.
Not every day you get a gift with the ball at the 20-yard line. Frankfort able to answer that. Big rush coming by the Wildcats. There's going to be a pass midfield and incomplete there. Looking for number 5, Mr. Connor Oldie, unable to come in with that pass. Kind of a strange play, I want to say. One receiver streaking down the middle. Offensive line did not do a terribly good job of pulling up there as quarterback Gavin Turk was rushed from the beginning of that play.
And that really blew it up again, that front line for Frankfort.
Second and 10.
That thing looked like it could have gone for 6 had it been a connection, and it got shut down pretty quickly. It made it go much faster, we'll put it that way.
Set up Turk, exactly. Turk back in the backfield here, running back to his left and right, split there. It's going to be up the middle with 45. Tackle in the backfield by the Wildcats as the Wildcats are able to get a tackle for loss there. That was Dylan Oldie trying to make it up the middle on the fullback side. But like Jeff just alluded to, tackle for loss. That front 3 of the Frankfort Wildcats has been playing stout all evening so far.
And that's the biggest thing with this Frankfort defense. If they can get a push, they've got the talent in the backfield. They've got the talent with the DBs that if they can get a push up front, it's going to be a long night.
So it's going to be Linn with a long 3rd and 11 here. It's going to be a quick swing out to the fullback, Dylan Oldie. He's going to pick up about 4 yards there as we're going to bring up a 4th and about 6 or 7, we're going to call it here. Linn just not able to get the ball moving so far in this game. Tried a bunch of different options, seen that swing pass a time or two, obviously dives right up the middle. But so far in this game, the defense, like Jeff alluded to earlier, you do have to give credit where credit is due. And this Frankfort team came to play here tonight. There's a quick snap on the punt. It's going to be a decent punt down to about the 40-yard line. We're going to go out of bounds just on the other side of the 40-yard line as we're switching sides here. So Frankfort is leading the Linn Bulldogs 30-6 here, just under 7 minutes left here to play in the second quarter. So far, Linn was able to open up with an early 60-yard touchdown pass from Wes Anderson to Trent Hardin. Answered that back with a 10-yard touchdown run by Lane Losal. Linn answered back with a Gavin Turk touchdown run of themselves. Then Brock Armstrong took it upon himself to push this lead up to where it stands now with a couple touchdowns through the air and and on the ground. Frankfort looking to extend their lead here. Ball on just about the 40-yard line. It's going to be a fake given here to Armstrong. It's going to be down the right side to Anderson as he barrels forward for about 7-yard line. Or they're going to call him just short there, about 5-yard line. 5 yards on the rush there by Anderson. Been a good show offensively so far by the Wildcats. Both a pass and run team. Talked to Coach Anderson early on in this week, able to get the run game going last week. That's something he wanted to continue doing on into this week and continuing on into the season. And we're seeing it take form here a little bit, Jeff. A little more time, a little bit more power being run by the Wildcats.
And when you have that, you have to use it. I mean, you have to incorporate it into it as best as you can, and they're doing a great job tonight.
And that responds back with an Anderson pass down the middle, floated it over the head, but we're going to have a flag coming in from the back line there, probably going to be on the Bulldogs.
Looked like it may have been pass interference. He was holding a guy, holding up the wide receiver in the middle of the field there and unable to make that play. So, yeah, they're going to call a pass interference here.
Free 15 yards for the Wildcats, and if you were on the defensive side of the ball, Jeff, that's something you can't have happen. Another one of those mental mistakes. If you're having trouble stopping this team in general, those sort of penalties can't happen.
And that was even a play where I believe the linebacker just was out of his spot and didn't know what to do there and panicked.
Really more out of position than anything, and it looks like we're going to have another flag on the far side. offside by the Bulldogs. Another free 5 yards for the Wildcats.
And so far, this couldn't go any better for Frankfort. They are really not doing anything out of the ordinary. Linn is just shooting themselves in the foot repeatedly right now.
I kind of quit counting there after a while, but I think that's penalty. I'm going to call it 6 for almost 70 yards already, and we're not even to halftime. It's going to be Brock Armstrong right up the middle, taking a defender or two with him. He's going to reach out to about the 10-yard line, and that's going to be close to a first down, and it looks like they're going to give it to him as he goes inside the 10. Ball's going to be at about the 6-yard line, And it looks like Coach Kuhlman has had enough. We're going to get a timeout here. We're going to take it as well. You're listening to KNDY.
Load, sort, and work your cattle easier, faster, and safer with equipment from Linn Post and Pipe. Wrangler portable corral, stationary working equipment, guaranteed gates, and continuous fencing, all available to make livestock handling safer and more efficient. Linn Post and Pipe is in the business to help ranchers do what they do best. So naturally, they provide only the most durable and best quality livestock handling equipment. Linn Post and Pipe Supply, built to last for generations.
Jane Elaine Boutique in Frankfort has all the newest styles with none of the new prices. If you haven't stopped by lately, you're already missing out on everything new coming in. Check them out online at janeelaineboutique.com to see their full selection of cute tops, jewelry, shoes, stuff for the kiddos, and always new arrivals. So stop by Jane Elaine Boutique today for your next trendy outfit, because having fun while looking good is a way of life. And be sure to check them out online at janeelaineboutique.com.
Back here at Linn as the Bulldogs trail the Frankfort Wildcats 30-6. 6:21 left here to go in the second quarter. Coach Kuhlman just using the last of his timeouts on defense. Not too happy with the play of his front three and linebackers so far in this game. But Frankfort has looked on their horse. Speaking of on their horse, it's going to be Loisau right up the middle for a touchdown. Lane Loisau right up the middle for the easy 6 points for the Wildcats. No one even getting close to him on that one, as the middle of that Bulldog defense just opened up, parted like the Red Sea. Not a good look there.
And again, that Frankfort front three, is just making the push, and that's exactly what they need to do. That's what those boys are out there for. They know their roles, and they're doing them well.
You hear it in any level of football. If your line isn't getting a push, it's going to be a long night. So looking for the 2-point conversion here as Frankfort has opened it up a little bit. It's going to be Anderson trying to sidestep. A 2-point conversion is no good. Good stop there by the Bulldogs. But with 6:17 left to go in the second quarter, the Frankfort Wildcats leading 36-6. We'll be right back on KNDY.
Keeping your business is the top priority at Old D Tractor Repair in Linn. Their professionally trained technicians have a tremendous amount of experience with all types of farm equipment. They service all brands of tractors, combines, and forage equipment, especially John Deere. They work on diesel truck engines, clutches, transmissions, differentials, and brakes. Call Old D Tractor Repair of Linn, Kansas, serving area farmers for over 26 years.
Stay connected, stay informed. Get the Frankfort community's top stories every week. Frankfort Area News is a small-town community newspaper dedicated to their advertisers, subscribers, and community. The Frankfort Area News was established in 1991 and is the official paper of the City of Frankfort, City of Vermilion, and USD 380. They love receiving news from their readers. If you have an engagement, wedding, birth, family reunion, or something you think local readers would enjoy, or to subscribe, get in touch with the Frankfort Area News at 292-4726.
Well, the sun is down and the sweatshirts are going to start being put on here pretty quick as the Frankfort Wildcats has opened it up against the Linn Bulldogs 36-6 here. 6:17 left here to play in the second quarter. Just coming off a 10-yard Lane Loisau run, touchdown up the middle, 2-point conversion, no good for the Wildcats. That's where we sit right now, 36-6. And Jeff has spoke about it a little bit earlier. Frankfort has almost come out in this game with a sense of urgency and a sense of, I guess I don't know what the word I'm looking for. They're playing good.
And, this is a Frankfort team that early on in the season played some very tough opponents. Now they're getting back to the teams that they match up really well against, and they're showing what those first few games did to them. Gave them a little bit of callous, gave them a little bit of, okay, let's go now, boys, and that's what they're doing tonight.
Spoke about it with a few coaches here this week on my interviews, and when you play teams with a higher level of competition, your boys see that, and they know what it takes then to play at that level. And as this year has gone on, that's one thing Coach Anderson has talked to me about with the Wildcats. It's going to be Linn starting at about their own 15 there. Somehow Gavin Turk was able to get away by about a 5-yard loss and pick up about 5 there. So the shiftiness, we brought that up earlier in the game, the shiftiness of Gavin Turk really hit off there.
And he has made some big impact tonight. Just not getting the assists he needs somewhere else. He needs that secondary player to really help him out. Gavin Turk doing the best he can tonight.
And especially in the offense that the Bulldogs run, consistency and being able to do your job playing and play out is really a key in order to see some success here. So it's going to be Turk in the backfield with Dylan Oldie back to his left. It's going to be an option here, left side, late pitch to Oldie. Oldie comes up the left side, gives a good hit rather than takes a good hit, and that's going to move it up close to the first down marker. We're going to go ahead and give them the first down. So good play design there by Coach Kuhlman as he was able to get his fullback out to some space, lower that pad level, and lay a pop on the Frankfort defender.
And Dylan, only a freshman, not a big kid by any means, but when he wants to run, he runs with a purpose.
Low to the ground, thick thighs on that boy, and low shoulder pad level when he runs. It's going to be Linn in the I formation. Turk followed by Dylan Oldie, and there goes Oldie right up the middle for about 4 or 5 yards. So Linn looking to get back into this game, continually, steadily driving it down the field. Clock has ran into under 6 minutes here. Left to go in the second quarter, but plenty of time, obviously, for the Bulldogs.
5:45 to go before half.
As we get closer to the halftime, you do have to kind of hope that they can get something going for either team can get a big play. Mm-hmm. That's going to be the big key in the next few minutes, getting one big play and really turning this game completely.
Talked about that big play right before the quarter break when Linn was able to get that touchdown, and we talked about how big that was going in the quarter. So if Linn is able to sustain the ball here as they've already taken off about a minute here, if they're able to sustain this drive and, go into the locker room with either a touchdown or points in general, and then if they have to go on defense, get a stop. This really changes the game because we are setting at 36-6, but touchdown here, touchdown there, we're right back in this game for the Bulldogs.
Go ahead.
As it sits now, though, the Bulldogs are sitting at a 3rd and about 5. It's going to be Turk off the left side with a power. He's going to go past the first down marker, get a split down the left side, break it off for a little bit, get across midfield, pick up a nice first down. There we go, a little explosive play. Maybe Lynn's not a 60-yard play type of team, but if you can get 8 to 15 yards every couple of plays, that's going to keep the Frankfort defense on their toes.
Get those chunk plays, and like you said, keep them ready and coming at you constantly. You've got to push them back just a little bit, and a play like that will definitely kind of stun Frankfort a little bit.
On the offensive side, if you are the aggressor, it makes your life that so much better, especially in any aspect of the game. It's going to be Turk in the backfield again with Dylan Oldie to his right. We're going to run a power with Turk. He's going to get, I'm going to call it about 1, maybe 1.5 there. Just not able to find a seam. But like we've talked about all night, that front three of the Frankfort defense playing really well, eating up blocks and allowing the linebackers to get to the point of attack and make those stops on early downs.
Those defensive players, the defensive front doesn't always have to make the play. They have to set the play up. And that's the biggest thing. Those guys in the backfield are speedy. They're quick to the ball. They can hurt you when they hit you. It's just those guys up front need to set the play up.
I think a good example of that would be that turnover there in the second quarter. Gavin Turk swallowed up by the line. Linebacker came in, forced it, It's going to be Linn on the second down. Turk rolling right here. Pass is short and incomplete. Had his fullback Dylan Oldie again in the flat, just not able to find that connection with his receivers so far tonight.
And Xander Hull, senior from Frankfort, was able to get after him. And Xander Hull's a big guy. If he was chasing me, I'd be a little scared too. I'd worry a little bit too.
There was some weight coming after Turk there, and able to kind of probably force that pass a little earlier than need to be. But at the end of the day, we're setting now at a 3rd and 9 for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs 3rd and 9 on the Frankfort side of the field, just across at about the 44-yard line. It's going to be Turk in the backfield all alone. Receivers left side. We have a flag. And I'm going to assume this might be on Linn by the looks of it. And yes, it is indeed. Another false start penalty on the Linn Bulldogs, as that is now number 5 of those tonight.
It looked like Raucho hadn't totally gotten set on that play on the far side, and it made someone jump down there.
And we talked about it, being able to get off the ball quick for the offensive line is really a key to this game, driving the defensive line back, and you want to get any advantage you can in this game, but obviously you can't have those mental mistakes such as the false starts, the fumbles, and the personal fouls. So that's going to move it back 3rd and 15 now for the Bulldogs. It's going to be rolling out left. Turk's met in the backfield. Not a chance there as the front 3 of the Frankfort defense decided to have a party in the Linn backfield.
There were more Frankfort players in the Linn backfield than Linn players at that point. They made such a great process there.
Able to force up a 4th and extremely long here for the Bulldogs as they'll punt it away here. Time has flown by, actually, Jeff. Just under 4 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Frankfort still leading 36-6. Punt's going to get away, fair catch called, and it'll be caught by Schmidt. So we're going to take a quick break here, 30-second break. We'll be right back here on KNDY.
Number 19 of the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10 with 3:46 to go in the half, leading 36-6.
With 3:64 here left to play in the ball game, the Linn Bulldogs back on defense as they just punted it away to the Frankfort Wildcats. Frankfort looking to get a score here, extend their lead, like I just said, leading 36-6 here, just under 4 minutes to play. And, of course, that is plenty of time for Coach Anderson and his Wildcats. It's going to be Wes Anderson walking way back here. It's going to be a screen over the middle. It's going to be ball in the hands of Armstrong. Armstrong here down the sideline took a tough lick at the end of that game, but able to pick up almost, we're going to call it 30 yards on that play. So another explosive play by the Frankfort Wildcats.
And, you know, I love giving these blocks credit. Wyatt Keller, once again, blew up 2 Bulldogs on that play for him to get around that edge. So a nice play. I love giving those guys credit that don't get it all the time. Wyatt Keller with another big play there.
And it's even more fun to see those linemen get on that second level of the linebackers there, a little wide receiver screen coming across the middle. And when if you're a lineman and you see a backer in front of you, you like to see that. A quick pass out left to Armstrong from Wes Anderson. Armstrong fighting for the extra yard. It looks like they're going to give him another first down here as Frankfort is able to move it all the way up to the 20-yard line of the Bulldogs yet again. We spoke about it a little bit earlier, the gang tackling and being able to meet Frankfort at the point of attack, and they've done a good job so far tonight, has Linn, just a few times here and there, but those few times, it's been a big play.
And really, the score is, Frankfort has 36 on the board, but I think the defense of this Frankfort Wildcat team has really provided those opportunities more than not to discount the Wildcat offense, but what they have been given is a big, big thing.
One of those big times was that fumble early on in the quarter. Gavin Turk turned it over at their own 20-yard line. Frankfort able to capitalize on that. And if you're a good team, you need to be able to capitalize on those. Anderson with a bullet over the middle. It's going to be caught with a good block and a touchdown. Ty Smith walks into the end zone for his second touchdown of the game. Now, I'm going to give credit there to Anderson, Wes Anderson. That was a bullet pass right down the middle. But I want to talk about the block there by Lane Loisow. Kind of crossing routes run there by Loisow. As soon as Smith hit the ball, Lane was there to lay a block on the Linn defender, and another one of those good blocks, opening up 20 yards of catch and run. And here we are as Frankfort has extended it up 42-6, just under 3 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. I believe Wildcats are going to kick it here. Not very often we get to see an extra point, but the extra point is up, and it is no go. It's good. It looked no good from here, but it is good. That's going to be number 35, Van Loik, getting the extra point. So, score is 43-6. We're going to take a break. Be right back here on KNDY.
Coolman Implement and Hardware is your Agco Alice, White, Hesting, Leaner, and Gel dealer with personalized care since 1935. See Coolman Implement and Hardware for farm equipment, electrical and plumbing supplies, parts, sales, and service. Your Agco Alice, White, Hesting, Leaner, and Gel dealer is Coolman Implement and Hardware in Linn, Kansas.
Raise your hand if you need more internet speed. It's time to get your hands on much faster internet. Don't settle for yesterday's internet speed when you have a home full of today's devices. Upgrade your Blue Valley Technologies internet speed now to the speed you need and get a $50 bill credit. If you're new to Blue Valley, you get 2 months free and everyone gets free installation on managed Wi-Fi. Visit bluevalley.net/raise your hand today.
Back here as the Linn Bulldogs are taking on the Frankfort Wildcats here. KNDY featured game of the week on our sister station, 94.1. The Marysville Bulldogs trailing Rock Creek 28-14 right now. Here in this game, the Frankfort Wildcats leading 43-6. It's going to be Turk returning it for the Bulldogs, looking for a crease and run down about the 10-yard line for the Wildcats. So, Jeff, we're looking here, 2:50 left to go in the game. Linn trailing 43-6. If you're sitting on the Linn offensive side, what do you want to see from this drive?
Well, I've said this the last three possessions. They need a score. They just have to get the ball into the end zone, any means necessary. Get the score before the halftime, and just try to make anything out of this from now on.
Try and get a little momentum is what we're looking for. I do obviously want to mention scoring's one thing, but getting it across the 40 might be the first step. The Frankfort defense has been very stout tonight, especially the front three against this offensive line of the Bulldogs. It's going to be Gavin Turk left side here with a power and run for no gain, maybe even a loss there. Big number 79, Xander Hall, making the stop for the Wildcats. And it looks like we are going to have a timeout here. We're going to take it ourselves. Frankfort leading Linn 43-6. We're right back on KNDY.
There we go.
From the ground up, Midwest Products Hanover can assist with concrete drives, parking, walks, entries, foundations, and support walls. Quality people help produce quality products, and you can rely on their crews for a job done right. Concrete plants at Hanover, Washington, and Clay Center. Midwest Products also haul rock, sand, and gravel. They have a crane for rent and can assist with site preparation. Start your next job with a call for a quote today from Midwest Products at Hanover.
Linn Bulldogs face off against the Frankfort Wildcats. Frankfort Wildcats leading in this game 43-6. 2:30 left here to go in the second quarter, right before half. Run through how we got here. Started off with a 60-yard touchdown pass from Wes Anderson to Trent Harden, 6-0 Frankfort. Frankfort added on with a 10-yard touchdown run by Lane Loisow. Linn answered back with a 20-yard run by Gavin Turk, and it has been all Frankfort from there. 2 passing touchdowns from Wes Anderson to Ty Smith, along with another Lane Loisow 10-yard touchdown run. It's going to be Linn here coming out of the timeout, trying to run a power with Turk, and it's going to be stopped up at the backfield. 3rd down and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Gained about a yard. Pass on the play.
Gain about a yard there, and it looks like Wes It looks like Nick Anderson is going to take another timeout, try and preserve some time here for his team. We're going to head and take it real quick as well. You're listening to the feature game of the week here on KNDY.
Just like our area athletes work each day in practice to perform at their best in the big game, the staff at Bruna Implement Company, your local Case IH dealer, work daily to provide the best parts and service experience when you need it most. Bruna Implement Company has been family-owned for 3 generations. We know what it takes to be successful as your area Case IH dealer. For the best in farming equipment with the service to back it, there is only one. Bruna Implement Company, since 1947.
Yeah, back here as the Linn Bulldogs take on the Frankfort Wildcats. Jeff Wertz here has some TVL scores for us real quick.
Some updates. It is Onega trailing 12-9 to Riverside. Troy has absolutely blown out Moore Hill 48-3, and the Axtell Eagles were up 40-0. Axtell doing what Axtell does. They are up 40-0 at the end of the first quarter against Blue Valley.
Axtell does what Axtell does. That is a good way to put it. I haven't had a chance to watch them yet this year, but I know they're real good. State champions coming that way. So we've got another timeout here by Nick Anderson. We're just going to keep it here instead of taking it. Anderson looking to preserve some time here for the Wildcats, looking to get another score in going into half. Jeff, what's been your takeaway so far here in the first half?
Well, it's just been all Frankfort. Frankfort capitalizing on all of the Linn mistakes and not taking their foot off the gas. You know, a team like Frankfort has that. They are the typical team that can just, give them any opening, and they're going to take it, and that's exactly what they've done tonight.
We've seen that time and time before, especially Linn has kind of shot themselves in the foot with some penalties. A unforced turnover early on in the game, too, led to some quick Wildcat points, and that has allowed Frankfort to open it up. So like Jeff alluded to there, with a younger team, if you have a team on the ropes, as a coach, you want to keep this going if you're the Wildcats. A pooch kick there by the Bulldogs. Ball's going to roll up to about, we're going to call it the 33-yard line of Linn itself. Ball did not even cross the midway point, so Frankfort's going to get great starting position here again right before half. Of course, Frankfort leading 43-6, 2:19 left here to play in the game. Plenty of time for Coach Anderson and his Wildcats to get a score.
Frankfort has the chance to deal the knockout blow here to Linn if they can get any offense going here.
Frankfort going to come out here with shotgun. Anderson with Armstrong to his left. It's going to be Anderson drop back passing. Pressure up the middle. Anderson steps away, able to get away from 1, able to get away from 2, up for about 1 yard gain, nothing else. But if I want to bring up one thing, gang tackling again by the Bulldogs. 4 helmets to that ball, a lot of helmets flying to it.
And that's something you've seen with Linn a lot this year. They have those flashes of really having it together, and then you have long stretches where maybe not.
Sometimes the gears don't click. Pass incomplete there as Anderson was looking across the field, looking for Harden, looking to extend his night. Frankfort had a good night offensively. But I do want to bring that point up that Jeff brought up earlier. Yes, Frankfort has put up 43 on the board, but it's really been the defense of the Wildcats that has kept the night for them, able to keep Linn at bay. It's been a couple drives now that Linn hasn't even been able to cross midfield. And if you want to look at a younger team in the Frankfort Wildcats traveling on a road game, after a game where you blew out a Donovan West team that you were expected to beat, this is the kind of first half that you want to see from the Wildcats.
And everything has gone right so far. Outside of a couple of little minor mistakes, Frankfort has played some really good ball tonight.
Still luck involved in the game of football. Here's going to be a swing pass down the right side. It's going to be number 24, Trent Harden. He's going to be awfully close to the touchdown, but we're going to stop him just short as Frankfort picks up about 30 yards there on a little screen pass to Harden right down the middle. So 1st and goal now here for Frankfort as they look to put this puppy on ice. 1:38 left here to go in the first half. Frankfort leading 43-6. Frankfort on we're going to call it the 3-yard line of the Linn Bulldogs, looking to knock on the door, add to this lead here. It's going to be Anderson in the backfield with Loisow behind him. Split left coming in motion is Ty Smith. It's going to be right up the middle, a fake pitch. Now a run by Anderson. And Anderson just a bigger and stronger runner on that one.
And again, it's if it works, just do it. I mean, football is a simple game. Do what works, and that's exactly what Frankfort has done tonight.
Frankfort able to open this one up now 49-6. Of course, if Frankfort gets the 2-point conversion, we would be at the 45 mark here early in this game. It's going to be the Wildcats on the far side of the field here as we look at it, the east side of the field. Anderson in the backfield with Smith in motion. It's going to be a handoff straight up the middle, powering over a linebacker, and getting in is Lane Loisow.
And that will 45.
So that will 45 it, but we still have to play to the half. I'm still getting accustomed to 8-man rules, I'll be honest with you, Jeff. It's been a few years since I've watched one of these games. So 45 rule here for Frankfort. We still have a minute 34 left to play. We're going to keep it here as we're going to go into a switch of possessions. So from that Frankfort side of the ball, Jeff, we've seen them air it out quite a bit, keep it on the ground to run effectively as well. What's going to be a key for this team going forward, because they have showed the ability to play up to competition.
And tonight I think we've seen a little bit different Frankfort. It's not just Brock Armstrong. We've seen names come in, the Hardens, Steffes, all of these different names. Get those supplementary players, as I said earlier, get those other players in. You've still got some big games up here for Frankfort. You've got to get a full-rounded team. And so far tonight, we're seeing that. I think that bodes well going forward.
And that does bode well for chemistry, too, because if you're looking at it from Coach Anderson's side, your defense is going to see your Armstrong one, your Anderson being able to run, so they're going to start keying in. So if you can kind of start to mold and fill that offense, fill those spaces around them, this offense is even more dangerous heading into the second half of the season. It's going to be Turk with the return up to about the 35-yard line. We're going to have a bunch of flags on the field. Let's see what we got going on here.
I think it was a face mask, and it looked so obvious that the man actually threw it from the opposite side of the field. That was an actually pretty decent throw of that flag.
It really was, all the way from the other side of the field. He got it here near side.
When it's that apparent, you have to call the penalty.
Yeah, I think he was throwing it with the wind there. A little south breeze tonight. Must have fluttered a bit. But I think what we're going to have is a block in the back on the Bulldogs. Coach Kuhlman not too happy with that call. Ball will start on the 11-yard line for the Bulldogs here. I will mention I have been very impressed with the Bulldogs, though, the fight that they have shown tonight. You come into this game, and after a first couple plays, you could get your head down and you could start to sink. But we saw it all the way through that second quarter that this team did not give up, and this team is still continuing to fight to the very end. It's going to be Turk left side on a little bit of a broken play, able to run down the left-hand side, step out of bounds, though, about the 25-yard line for the Bulldogs.
And this is a Linn team that knows what they have on the line. They know they're not going to, at this point in the season, they're not going for a deep playoff run. They're looking at this year. They want to play to the best of their ability every Friday night. And it's the heart over the score sometimes with this Bulldog team. And I think that's what you're going to see in the next few weeks.
And that's what I've talked to Coach Kuhlman about all season so far, is not quitting, even though it might be a little rough of a season. You don't quit. You can see it in the coaches, too. They're still down there. They're coaching the boys up. They're telling them, what to look for, where to go for, and that's what you need when you're kind of building a program such as Trevor Kuhlman is doing here at Linn. Of course, Frankfort has opened it up here now. It's 51-6, a minute 20 left here to go in the first half. Frankfort has come out and looked extremely well so far in this game. kind of the team that Coach Anderson was looking for. Like we talked about early on in the season, a few disappointing losses against some good teams, but see competition and to see this team evolve is what he was looking for. It's going to be Gavin Turk just taking what he can, and another play there as the defensive line for Frankfort just smothered up the line for the Bulldogs there. And I think that's been the most, I don't want to call it impressive part of the night, but the part that has stuck out the most to me has been the play of the defensive line for the Frankfort Wildcats. There's not many times you come away from a game going, wow, that unit impressed.
And that's completely true in this ballgame. The offensive stats are going to be big. That's always going to happen with Frankfort. It's those little things that you don't notice in the stat book that's Frankfort's forte.
And another run stuffer there from the Frankfort defense as Linn looked to run a power to the left side, but nothing going. As the clock continues to run, just under a minute here left in the game, or the half, excuse me. Ended here at half. Fourth down for the Bulldogs as they are looking to hopefully get on the board, maybe move a little bit. Yardage here. Looks like the Bulldogs are back in punt formation at their own 15-yard line. Ball is punted away deep. No one back to return for the Wildcats. The Bulldogs will let this roll down to the Frankfort 15-yard line there, and that's where Frankfort will start this possession. Just under 30 seconds left to go here in the first half. Of course, Frankfort able to get this win on a 45 rule. Score 51-6 here in Linn. Well, Jeff, before I forget, it has been an absolute pleasure to call a game with you. I'm so glad you were able to make it over with me today. Not quite the same as Bruce, but I think we've made a pretty good pair.
It has been a lot of fun, and it's always good to get back on KNDY. It's always a lot of fun to get a TVL game in every Friday night.
And, of course, as scores roll in tonight, watch the TVL Spotlight podcast Facebook page, as Jeff will be keeping everyone updated as the night goes on, and listen into his podcast as the season goes on. Does a great job with those. Very interesting history on the TVL, one of the real shiny spots here in Kansas League. So the final score here tonight is going to be the Frankfort Wildcats winning against the Linn Bulldogs at half, 51-6. Frankfort came out early and often, scoring early in the first quarter. Linn answered back in the first, but never able to keep that momentum going. So final score here tonight as Frankfort Wildcats beat the Linn Bulldogs 51-6. We will be right back here with post-game wrap-up.
Friendly, personalized service to meet your banking needs. That's the standard at First National Bank, Frankfort.
My community bank has responded to the changes needed to keep my money safe and secure. They've switched to cards with the latest technology, which is safer and more secure than before. My community bank provides safety and security while staying on top of the latest banking trends.
Let First National Bank's brand of banking be responsive to your needs. First National Bank, Frankfort, proud to be your community bank. Member FDIC.
Moe's Stop and Shop in Linn is your stop. Fuel up and fill up at Moe's Stop and Shop. They have gas available, plus they have drinks, snacks, and a whole lot more. Your convenience store is Moe's Stop and Shop. Find them right off the highway in Linn. Moe's Stop and Shop.
Here as the Linn Bulldogs fall to the Frankfort Wildcats, losing 56-6. 51-6, excuse me, there. Didn't write down the final score. We'll be right back here in just a second with final thoughts and a wrap-up.
If they're ready.
Whether you're buying, building, remodeling, or refinancing, your home is a major investment in your life. At United Bank and Trust, we understand how important it is to work with someone who cares. Our loan officers have the experience it takes to make the process a smooth one. Come in for a visit or start online by filling out a loan application at ubankonline.com in as little as 20 minutes. Mortgage lending with United Bank and Trust. It's banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
To keep your vehicle running good and looking good, all you need is M&R Auto Parts in Frankfort. Motor oil, air filters, spark plugs, batteries, brakes, and more. M&R also has what you need for the outside of the vehicle. Wheel cleaners, glass cleaners, washes, and waxes. That's M&R Auto Parts, your CarQuest Auto Parts dealer in Frankfort.
You don't ask that much from your propane provider. Just the basics. Competitive pricing, quick delivery, reliable service. And if there's an emergency, the assurance that you won't be left out in the cold. You get all of that from Wanklin Oil. If you're not getting what you want from your current propane dealer, call Wanklin Oil at 1-800-794-2019. Jared, Dennis, or Zach will make the transition easy. It's not a hassle. Wanklin Oil is covering more of Northeast Kansas and can get to you right away. Wanklin Oil, 1-800-794-2019. We've had the energy since 1926.
Titan West Incorporated manufactures corral fencing, gates, and chutes. A square deal better. Titan West now manufactures circular working corral, cattle, hog, horse, and bison equipment. Phone 1-800-252-0847 for dealer information. Circular working corral, cattle, hog, horse, and bison equipment. Manufactured here in Linn, Kansas by Titan West Incorporated. Phone toll-free 1-800-252-0847.
Call Parthimer Electric at 268-0553. At Parthimer Electric, we specialize in residential and commercial electrical services and are dedicated to providing customer service that is second to none. Parthimer Electric won't leave the job until you're satisfied. Parthimer Electric is available at all hours and offers flexible services for indoor or outdoor jobs. You can visit us on the web at the Parthimer Electric Facebook site or give us a call at 268-0553. Parthimer Electric in Frankfort.
Back here on KNDY as the Frankfort Wildcats defeat the Linn Bulldogs 51-6. Jeff, from the beginning of this game, Frankfort came out, second play of the game, kind of took it over. What did you see from that offense?
And that second play, was really the whole description of this game. I mean, when the offense started going for Frankfort, the defense stepped up, and it became a full-team effort, and that's all this was tonight for Frankfort. They just stepped on it from the moment go.
The term there is a full-team effort. We talked about it throughout this broadcast, that, yes, Frankfort put up 51 points, and you need your offense to put the ball across the line. But the defense for Frankfort, how important is that for that team to build as this year goes on and into district and TBL play?
Oh, it's paramount. It has to be the biggest thing for Frankfort. They know that offense can roll. They know that. I mean, the weapons that they have, it's setting up that defense that is going to be big in these next few weeks because Frankfort does have some big opponents down the line in district play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, coming up and building that momentum. I talked about it a little bit earlier, and that's one question I asked Nick Anderson. How would this team respond after a blowout win versus a team that they should have beaten Doniphan West, and to come over here and to handle business the way they did? Looked real good. Now to flip it to the other side, though, Linn, they came out, and I think the word of the night for them is fight. I think they fought all night, and they continue to do that.
It's a steady progression here with Linn. It's just going to be those little victories that they can take. Had they gotten that second touchdown, I think it would have been a huge momentum boost for Linn. That's where I think this thing really turned around. When they weren't able to get into that second touchdown, the entire Bulldog team just looked deflated from then on, and that's when Frankfort was able to really take this over.
And one thing I forgot about was early on in that first quarter, I counted 3 passes that went off the hands of receivers for Linn, one of them being that touchdown and 2 others being 20, 30-yard plays that could have really changed that momentum for Linn going into that first quarter.
And those are things that can get wrapped up in practice. Those are the things with enough reps does not happen. They do not happen with enough throughout your Monday through Thursday. Mm-hmm. That's where that happens. Monday through Thursday, it's the mental errors that I think was the biggest thing for Linn. That is Friday nights. You have to fix that on your own, on the fly, on the field.
And there are no excuses, but yes, a young team, 4 seniors out this year, 2 of them hurt, 1 of them not playing. All of those passes went off hands of some younger guys, so something to build at. And like Coach Coleman has talked about, and you talked about, this isn't about necessarily this year. This is about the building block going forward.
And it's going to be a progression for this Linn team. I don't think we see a extremely successful Linn team for at least 2 more years. But those 2, 3, 4 win seasons, that's going to be success in Linn from now on.
The levels of success at different programs do differ where you go from places. So we're going to take a break. We will be right back with your scores and stats here on KNDY.
Oldie Family Farms continues a tradition of providing safe and wholesome milk for dairy products. From their family to years, they strive to steward natural resources and provide for the health and vitality of the cattle they raise and the practices they employ. It all began with 3 Holsteins in 1955, and generations later, the same commitment to quality continues. Learn more, including current job openings and employment opportunities, on their website at oldiefamilyfarms.com.
Jane Elaine Boutique in Frankfort has all the newest styles with none of the new prices. If you haven't stopped by lately, you're already missing out on everything new coming in. Check them out online at janeelaineboutique.com to see their full selection of cute tops, jewelry, shoes, stuff for the kiddos, and always new arrivals. So stop by Jane Elaine Boutique today for your next trendy outfit, because having fun while looking good is a way of life. And be sure to check them out online at janeelaineboutique.com.
Load, sort, and work your cattle easier, faster, and safer with equipment from Linn Post and Pipe. Wrangler portable corral, stationary working equipment, guaranteed gates, and continuous fencing, all available to make livestock handling safer and more efficient. Linn Post and Pipe is in the business to help ranchers do what they do best. So naturally, they provide only the most durable and best quality livestock handling equipment. Linn Post and Pipe Supply, built to last for generations.
Raise your hand if you need more internet speed. It's time to get your hands on much faster internet. Don't settle for yesterday's internet speed when you have a home full of today's devices. Upgrade your Blue Valley Technologies internet speed now to the speed you need and get a $50 bill credit. If you're new to Blue Valley, you get 2 months free and everyone gets free installation on managed Wi-Fi. Visit bluevalley.net/raise your hand today.
When you own a business of any kind, you need an insurance policy that'll protect it. You need business insurance that perfectly suits your industry, and Blue Valley Insurance is proud to offer it. When you get an insurance policy from us, you're taking the first step towards protecting your business, your employees, and yourself. Let's start with an overview of the types of coverage you can expect. Stop by for quotes at Blue Valley Insurance in Linn, Greenleaf, Hanover, and Marysville.
Back here on KNDY as the Frankfort Wildcats traveled to Linn, defeated the Bulldogs 51-6. Of course, I was joined by TVL Sports Spotlight host Jeff Wirtz. Jeff has got a few other area scores to mention here.
We have Axtell defeating Blue Valley 62-0. Clifton Clyde just almost hanging it up on Lincoln at halftime. They lead 50-6, a 44-point difference at halftime. Centralia and Jackson Heights, this game was going to be excellent. It is Centralia 21, Jackson Heights 6, headed into the fourth quarter. Troy just absolutely came out and ran over Moore-Hill 68-3 at halftime. That game can't end in a 45. So Troy is just going to continue that offense tonight. Again, they lead 68-3.
We've talked about tonight having some excellent teams in the TVL. One of them, of course, being Axtell, the next team, Centralia.
One more I just got in. Hanover takes care of D West 48-0, so they get the 45-point rule. The Wildcats back on the winning side. They're back to Wildcat football.
They're back. That 0-3 record was not to be said for Hanover. Well, here we have the Wildcats defeating Linn 51-6, game ending at halftime. Running through the scores here real quick. Opened up with a 60-yard pass from quarterback Wes Anderson to Trent Harden. Started the scoring off 6-0, 2-point conversion, no good. Followed up by Lane Loisau, 10-yard touchdown run, 12-0. Linn was able to answer back with a 20-yard Gavin Turk touchdown run, 2-point conversion, no good on that, as the score brought us to 12-6. And from then on out, it was Frankfort all the way. Brock Anderson with a 1-yard touchdown run and a 2-point conversion to move it up to 20-6. Followed up by a Wes Anderson to Ty Smith, 10-yard touchdown pass, 2-point conversion good by Anderson, 28-6. Lane Loysow follows it up with a 10-yard touchdown run and good 2-point conversion, 36-6. Excuse me, the kick was good on that one. And then a Wes Anderson touchdown to Ty Smith for 25 yards, opened it up 46-6. And the final score of the game was Wes Anderson on the ground, a quarterback keeper up the middle, 51-6. So the Frankfort Wildcats escape here tonight, move on to 2-3 on the season as Linn drops to 1-4. But a competitive game from them to call it the first quarter of that game. It was a good game to call, but some stuff on both sides that can be worked on.
And definitely, I think both teams have a lot to just fix up in the next few days before that game just comes again next Friday. And we'll see how these teams can rebound and fix what maybe broken maybe isn't the right term, just things that here's what we can do here, here's what we can do here. These two coaches are fantastic at it. Two young coaches that know their teams and can fix and mend things the way that both Trevor Kuhlman and Nick Anderson do. They do an excellent job with their teams, and look for these to be completely different teams next week.
It'll be interesting to see where these teams go from moving forward. So we'll be right back here with final thoughts and final wrap-ups as Frankfort defeats Linn 51-6.
Your opportunity, your solution, your success. That's Souther's Feeds approach, and that's what sets us apart. I'm Leanne Litton, and I invite you to experience the Souther difference. We're about visiting the ranch, walking your pens, and weighing the options to develop a ration combination that will be the most efficient and profitable for your business. Souther's, a family-owned company that identifies opportunities and applies solutions for your success. Souther Feeds in Frankfort and online at SoutherFeeds.com. Souther Feeds, where your success is our success.
Earning and keeping your business is the top priority at Old D Tractor Repair in Linn. Their professionally trained technicians have a tremendous amount of experience with all types of farm equipment. They service all brands of tractors, combines, and forage equipment, especially John Deere. They work on diesel truck engines, clutches, transmissions, differentials, and brakes. Call Old D Tractor Repair of Linn, Kansas, serving area farmers for over 26 years.
Stay connected, stay informed. Get the Frankfort community's top stories every week. Frankfort Area News is a small-town community newspaper dedicated to their advertisers, subscribers, and community. The Frankfort Area News was established in 1991 and is the official paper of the City of Frankfort, City of Vermilion, and USD 380. They love receiving news from their readers. If you have an engagement, wedding, birth, family reunion, or something you think local readers would enjoy, or to subscribe, get in touch with the Frankfort Area News at 292-4726.
Kuhlman Implement and Hardware is your AGCO Alice, White, Hesting, Leaner, and Gel dealer with personalized care since 1935. See Kuhlman Implement and Hardware for farm equipment, electrical and plumbing supplies, parts, sales, and service. Your AGCO Alice, White, Hesting, Leaner, and Gel dealer is Kuhlman Implement and Hardware in Linn, Kansas.
Wrapping up this Friday night matchup as the Frankfort Wildcats defeat the Linn Bulldogs 51-6 here in Linn. Of course, I want to thank Jeff Wirtz for joining me tonight. As always, check him out, TVL Spotlight. Jeff, thank you again for joining me tonight. Appreciate it. Made the night go smooth.
Been an absolute pleasure. A great game tonight. Despite the score, I think we did see some good TVL football, and that's what we always see from the Twin Valley League. I might be a little bit biased, but I love me some TVL football.
So TVL football is good for the soul, that is for sure. So, of course, tonight, Frankfort beating Linn 51-6. My name is Max Blasky. I want to thank all the sponsors for making this game possible for us again tonight. Signing off from Linn, I am Max Blasky. Thank you for listening. We will see you all again next Friday night.
And our broadcast coverage is service of these fine sponsors: Midwest Products, Baruna Implement, First National Bank in Frankfort, M&R Auto Parts, United Bank and Trust, Moe's Stop and Shop, Wanklin Oil, Titan West, Oldie Family Farms, Parthimer Electric, Linn Post and Pipe, Blue Valley Insurance Agencies, Jane Lane Boutique, Oldie Truck and Tractor, Blue Valley Technologies, Souther Feeds, Kuhlman Implement and Hardware, and Frankfort Area News. And to our regional sports boosters, they include Can Equip, Sunflower Community Credit Union, Hometown Lumber and Hardware, St. Gordon and Associates, Honeyman Auto, Kramer Oil, Bruna Implement, Channel Seed, and United Bank and Trust. Scores and updates twice each hour. Game nights on the Farm Bureau Insurance School Board Show and a service of Farm Bureau agents Patrick Beauty in Marysville and Bryce Leonard in Washington. Plus scores twice during our 7 a.m. news block Saturday on KNDY.
KNDY.